Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. Well, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know the last couple of years I've been taking out some of the grass in my backyard and I've been slowly inching it into a smaller space. But something I haven't been doing is moving my sprinkler heads in out of the newly created flower beds. So it's overcast today and I thought that was a good day to be working and digging in the ground, doing this kind of a job. And it's honestly one I've been putting off, so I just need to get doing it. So I thought I would bring you along and just have a look at what I'm doing and how I do it. I'm by no means an expert in this, but I have moved a few sprinkler lines in my day and it's not really as hard as it might seem. It can seem really intimidating at first, but if you have the right pieces and the right setup, it can be pretty simple. The hardest part is all the digging and packing it all back in so they're standing up the right way and figuring out what parts you need. So I have a couple here that are dug out so you can have a look at them, and I'll show you what they look like and what I think I need to fix them, and I'll show you how I fix one. So I have two sprinkler heads way back in this flower bed here still. And I'm not sure I'm up to digging them out. Again, it's not the work of changing the head or moving the head, it is the work of digging it all out, and I'm gonna have to come underneath my walkway or move my walkway and put it back down, and we'll see if I get to that this summer. But on the other side of my yard, past Buster, I have three heads. There's one dug out there, we'll come back to that one. There's one dug out there. See all the dirt I've been moving. And there's one dug out back here. So I need to move all three of those. And like I said, eventually I really do need to move the ones that are in the flower bed, but I'm not sure I'm up for that digging today. But I'm gonna try and get these three done. So I'm waiting. My father-in-law actually has a bunch of miscellaneous parts he picked up at garage sales. I'm just waiting to see if he has the piece that I need for this one here, because the line goes from that direction straight like that. That's connected in there, and then it keeps going straight across the flower bed here and joins up, and it must actually go on an angle a little bit out into the grass, and then is teed off and back to that one there, and then comes through the grass somewhere here and around to that one there. So I'm going to start with working on this one. It's just the simplest. I know I have the pieces for it right now, so that'll be my job for right now, and I'll wait on the parts. Oh, first thing, turn off the water. There's going to be a lot of water come out of this line, but I better go turn the water off, the main part of the house off, before I have just water shooting everywhere. Okay, so theoretically the valves are turned off and water shouldn't be still pouring out of all this, but I always like to turn that tap off at the house just to make sure, you know, in case I get carried away here and all of a sudden one of my automated systems is activated or something and the lines fill. I just rather make sure that can't happen. Or if, you know, I get stopped by something and I don't get back to it today, you know, again, you don't want all of a sudden the automated system to come on and you've just got like open lines pouring water out everywhere. So that's why I like to just turn the water right off at the source, and I can work on this. So this one I've been kind of playing with, and I can see it's weeping here a little bit, but these connections are just made. You can see this. It has a piece of hose already on it. This was just an extra piece I had laying around from another time I've had to dig something out. But these little connections, really simple. You have this little end here. It's gonna go on your hose. First you're gonna stick this over the end of hose that you have. Push this into the hose. So you'd have like this. You'd stick that over your hose, jam your hose on, and then this piece would screw onto these threads here. So it's really quite simple to do. The hardest part is just getting it going, and especially if you're like me and you have a lot of clay down in here, can be kind of a mucky job. So I'm just trying to unscrew that joint. So hopefully you can see there it's come undone. I don't know if that gives you a better look at it or not there. But so I'm going to be able to reuse this portion here. So I just need to get it out. And you see there'll be the water that was just in the line there is just going to pour out. Just get it out of my way. You're going to make sure you don't wind up getting mud and dirt in this end or that end. And since I'm just going to be putting this back on, I'm just going to put this piece back together here. Again, trying to keep the mud out. So then I just need to take this piece that I have. I'm just going to turn that corner on there. So just push it in real tight. Screw it back on. I don't technically know if you're supposed to reuse these parts, but I have for years. Don't experience problems with it, so I just need to get it nice and tight on there. So now I have this end here, and I'm just going to take this piece. Okay, so I moved the camera to get you a better view, and apparently I turned it off when I did that. But I've just pushed this end into the hose and then screwed this little piece on, and now it's all connected. So now you don't have to do this, but I'm going to take just one of these big long, this is kind of a heavy duty landscape staple, and I'm going to just push it down to help hold this firm in the ground, because I find when I backfill the soil, if I don't get it tamped in good enough, then these will kind of move around a little bit. So I've never done this before, but I thought I'd just give it a try with this one. So I'm just gonna push these in, one at either end, and just maybe that'll just keep it a little bit more tight. So I'm gonna wait to backfill it until I have the other two that are on this system fixed up, and then I will test them all, make sure there's no leaks underground before I fill them back in, but that's all there really is to it. I'll bring you back when I'm working on the next ones here and show you how they're done, and then we'll get this all back together, and my sprinklers will be closer to the grass than they've been for a while now, which should help get that brown, I don't know if it shows up on camera, but pretty brown grass there Buster's lolling in. Get that getting proper water again. Okay, so I'm in the corner back by my patio again, and I'm going to show you what I have here in the ground and what I need to do to get it out towards the grass where I need it. So I'll just give you a little look at what I'm trying to do here. So right now I think you can see the line goes straight, or the sprinkler is straight in line with the sprinkler hose there underground. And what I want to do is put a T in and bring the hose out, bring another hose out this way, put the sprinkler head there, and then that's the grass. So I need to remove what's there, and then I just went to the store and I grabbed one of these tees. So I'll just put that in, and I'll put these in. Hopefully it'll fit in line with where the sprinkler was and I don't have to add any hose. And then I'll just run the new hose out off of this side with the sprinkler line on the end of it. So that's the plan. Okay, so I hope that all made sense. So I'm going to take the sprinkler out from between the two pieces of pipe that I have, replace it with this thing, and then I'll put a new piece of pipe out of this area here, take it out towards the lawn, and then I can take the new piece of sprinkler pipe or underground line. I can connect this in, and I've just grabbed, you can get with these turny things, but I actually did wind up running over to my father-in-law's because I thought I had one of these and I didn't. And you can just stick it in to the end, and first put a hose clamp on, stick it in, bring the hose clamp down, tighten it down, and then the sprinkler head will just screw onto here. So I'm not going to attach this part yet until I know exactly if this is the right length. I think this should be pretty close to what I want, but if I need to cut it down, I have some pipe cutters, and I'll use those to just cut it down. You could just use a really sharp utility knife, but these work pretty slick if you have a set. I use them for all sorts of things. So try and get to work here and try and get this job done. At least it doesn't look like it's going to rain on me anymore. The sun has come out now, but still would like to get this finished up today. I'm just going to unscrew this connection, just like I screwed the other one on at the other space. It'd be kind of tricky to pull these apart when it's splicing together, and I didn't leave myself a lot of wiggle room with the pipes, so we'll see if I can get these pulled out if I need to do some more digging. Looks like it's coming. Come on. There we go. Now I'm hoping that's the same distance. Oh good, it is. So I should be able to hook the new one on. Exact same deal. Just going to take this piece off, run it on the pipe, make sure you get that weight bit in there. Same thing on the other side. And then hopefully you can see between all the shadows and roots. I'm just going to push that on real well. I'm going to connect the other one right now too. If I get it in there. Come on. There, and they're nice and tight. Swing these things back down and tighten them off. There. So now I need to get my other piece of pipe hooked in there. It's a lot easier if it's on a new area and you're not trying to work around roots. Don't forget to stick this in your pipe. So now I have this pipe here. So I'm gonna take it, and there is a trench here. I've kind of filled it back in, but there is a trench here. I'll just clear it out. And this is gonna get me pretty close to the end, and I think we're gonna call that good enough. By the time we get the ends and that on, I'll be about that far from the edging. And that's good enough for me for what I'm doing here. So I just need to take these, unscrew. Of course that end stayed in on me. I'm gonna have to go get some pliers, I think. Yeah, I'll get some pliers so I can get a hold of, or a wrench and get a hold of that, and then I'll get that put together. Okay, so if you run into a situation like this where you need to get one of these out of one of these, I tried pliers and I tried a wrench, but you need vice grips, so that gives you enough hold that you can just unscrew it. So I don't need that. So what I do need now is, there's a pretty good little bit on here left over, but I'm gonna put just a little bit of plumber's tape and get it started. So screw on that way. So So that's the way I want to put the tape around. Let's just go just a couple of wraps, and that just helps to get a good seal when you're working with something threaded like this. So you don't need a ton of it. And then you can just put this on. And if you wrapped the tape the correct way, then it won't get all bunged up while you're turning it on. So there, those are both attached. So now let's go to the hose, get our clamp, just slide it on the hose so it's there when we need it. Find the piece I just had. Just gonna jam that on. Oh, I forgot I wanted to run the hose under there. Oops. Okay. So I just ran the hose under. I had some tree roots here I wanted to not cut. So I just ran the hose under there. And then I have this hose clamp here, and you just need to tighten it on. So, and that's just a different way that you can attach pieces to your sprinkler system if you don't have somewhere that sells that other style. So there. Now, like I said, I've kind of refilled this space here as I was digging around, but I'll get that dug down there deep enough so it's not really sticking out much above the mulch and soil. Get as close to the grass area as we can get it, and I'm going to pin it down as soon as I can see where I threw those pins. There they are. I think I could even come a little bit further with it. I'm just going to pin it down. Looks like I need to loosen up that hose clamp and just turn. I just want to turn the sprinkler head just a little bit. There. That looks good, so I'll tighten that back on. I just want the sprinkler going straight up and down and not sideways. Sticking that pin in. Landscape staple. Something to push with. There. So there, when I backfill that with soil, that should all be held up nice. And I'll dig this down a bit more once I know there's no leaks, and just get it a little bit lower as well, but it's down far enough. That's 2 sprinkler lines done. I have 1 left that I want to work on today. Okay, so I don't know if you can see past the heliopsis that's growing so well there, but my last sprinkler line, I'll back you up a bit. So the grass is right there. And if you follow that little trench, there's a sprinkler head back there. So I just simply need to move that sprinkler head from back there up to here. So that's probably going to be the easiest one I've yet to do. All right, so I've dug this line out to get it free, and I'm just going to take these cutters and cut this line back here. I'll probably do it about here just so I have room to work. So it won't be, again, just like the last one, it will be right up against the grass, but that'll work for me. Just get a nice clean cut here. So these are nice, they just wrap around the hose, and then the blade just slices right through and makes a nice clean cut. Just like that. So easy. Worth every penny. So then we just need to go to this end, unscrew it, just like with all the rest. Pull it apart. Get this piece off. We need it. There it is. Okay, so now it's a bit tricky to see with all these tree roots and things in the way, but so my end of hose right here. Again, same thing, just gonna stick this on, jam this thing in, and then pull that up and screw it back together. Now I'm gonna dig this a little bit further down. So I can set that right down like that. Stick a staple in. I don't know what I hit, but I wrecked that staple. There. That'll just keep it nice and straight so it's not going cockeyed on me when when the pressure of the water is going through there. Okay, so now I'm just going to move my wheelbarrow of dirt and things out of the way here and turn these sprinkler lines on just so I can make sure that I don't have any leaks happening at any of these connections. And once I know that, then I can just backfill and tamp the soil down real well to fill in all these spaces, and we're good to go. Sprinklers are ready to go. I will have to probably adjust the spray on these again once it's all set up because they're moved slightly, but that's not a big deal. It's easy to do. So I'm just gonna go get stuff out of the way and turn on the water and give them a test. So I ran the sprinklers and they all look good. I don't see any leaks in any of the connections. So now it's just a matter of filling the holes back in and making sure that they're really tight around those sprinkler heads so they're not moving and wobbling when the pressure of the water goes through. Now putting those landscape staples down will really go a long way to helping to keep them tighter in place, but packing the soil around will help as well. So that's my next step. I'm just gonna get that all filled in, and then my sprinklers will be back out where the grass is, and I can move on to some planting projects that I've had to wait on moving the sprinklers in order to do. So we'll bring you up to date with the planting when it's time to get that done. And I'm just gonna get to backfilling dirt with holes of soil. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.